Well, we just saw a bill that's 11 years in the making, over a decade, now finally signed. But could there be some typics needed?
Thank you very much, and thank you for having us. This morning, as the ANC, the president of the ANC, not the country, did engage with us based on his engagement with political leaders of 4 political parties. That is PA, Freedom Front, Al-Jama, and the DA, about the bill. And we agreed that let's open a 3-month period to engage on the 2 issues that they are raising. And but the bill must be signed. That's what is important. So we're moving in the right direction. In the spirit of cooperation and engagement, that's how we understand this process unfolding. Otherwise, today is a great day in terms of the struggle for transformation in the Republic of South Africa, that we are actually moving forward.
Yeah. Would you categorize this as a compromise or a cave-in when we're looking at this 3-month period as well, considering how much time has gone into this BELA Bill in the first place, that these 4 parties that you mentioned, the PA, Freedom Front Plus, Al-Jama, and the Democratic Alliance, have basically had a lot of time to engage on this bill? With the ANC giving this leeway as well, considering the GNU too, is this a cave-in or the beginning of a caving in?
No, there's no caving in. The question is that they say they do have proposals that they would like to make, so which have got no material effect in terms of the bill itself, but they believe that they need to make those proposals. So it's fine, let's engage, it's okay. But the bill is signed, and so 3 months doesn't mean anything, except for the fact that we need to engage with the process and understand where they come from. Of course, we take into consideration that this bill has been in the works. More than 5,000 submissions have been made, and it passed through Parliament, and the ANC leading in the passing of the bill in Parliament with other political parties. The new dispensation, where we did not get the overwhelming majority, by the way, it meant that the bill has been passed in the last 6 administration, and we are encouraged by the fact that today it has actually been signed, and so we are in the right direction.
Is this also part of navigating the GNU terrain? Because there were also threats of legal action should the president sign it, and then, of course, that was changed too. Are you going at it at this way because you also have to manage your relationships with your GNU partners?
Well, it's not so much about relationships, more than being decent and maintaining the principle of cooperation among parties in terms of what needs to happen among people who serve in the same government, and allow them space to basically ventilate, because they too have got constituencies. They were elected on a ticket. So in this particular instance, we are the largest party. That's why we caution everybody to say, don't threaten, because we too are not married to GNU. We've got other options. So threats don't work. The decent way to do things is to talk. And then if we can't find each other, we've got to move ahead. And if you decide to move away and drop from the GNU, it's not a train smash. Government will not collapse. Stability is guaranteed in this GNU going forward. And we're determined to do that. So we are actually extending a hand of goodwill to everybody to ensure that the spirit of cooperation prevails on matters of this nature. Otherwise, arrogantly and otherwise, we could have gone ahead and totally sign without taking into consideration the views of others. So we do. But overall, there's no challenge with this bill, actually. And so It's a question of linguistics in terms of the right of SGPs to make a determination about what must actually happen. Others are opposed to that. But they believe that we can find each other because it is not a big deal. So that's why the president is able to sign today.
And Mr. Mbalula, while you are extending a hand of goodwill, as you put it, we saw as well the glaring absence of the basic education minister from that signing. Minister Siviwe Kwahube didn't even attend the ceremony in the first place. So clearly there is quite a bit of contestation still.
Well, I think she had no choice. She's towing the party line. Yesterday she spoke differently to her actions today. She's towing the party line that you don't attend that particular ceremony, because if she attended, she was supposed to read the statement that was read by the deputy minister. And in this particular instance, so they view it as opposed to their views and what must actually happen. So she had to toe the line of the party above the interest of the people of South Africa. She's there not for the party, for the interest of the people of South Africa to serve. But she has done that. The DA has always accused the ANC of not being pro-South Africa, but being pro-ANC. Now the dynamics of serving in the party and the legislature and being a party and playing an opposition role is playing itself out to them. That they serve their own party more than the interest of the people. So their own party interest is that don't sign. But in terms of the oath you have taken it to South Africa and to serve the people of South Africa, like she put it. So it's a conundrum for them. But for us, we remain principled that we advance transformation in our country as the ANC government. And we support fully the signing. We support fully the 3 months period for the engagement. And we will engage with political parties that are concerned, 4 of them, around this issue. And then we should come back to the president even before the 3 months period. And we move ahead. So there's no time to waste time.
Advancing transformation, that's been at the center of this as well. We heard President Cyril Ramaphosa mentioning that. You've also been mentioning that too. Would you describe those who are anti this bill as anti-transformation then?
You know that we have said this, that we have a government of national unity, which is not a melting pot. In this particular instance, you have those who stand for their ideas and their own policies, which are basically we are opposed to. So to an extent that we can engage, it has got also limits that at the end of the day, we may give this leeway of 3 months, but in the long term, others will call it quits. We have said that GNU is not cast in stone, it's a tactic. And in itself can be turned on, can be turned off, and that is it. So for the advancement of our country and the stability of South Africa and putting the people first, we have demonstrated beyond reasonable doubt that we want South Africa to prosper and to advance. And so we will not sign for not advancing policies of transformation. That's not what we signed for, even in the statement of intent. We signed in the foundational principles for redress, and at the same time for stability, for economic growth, constitutionalism, and the rule of law. So that's what we have signed for. So in this particular instance, it is acceptable if people differ. We differ on certain issues. And then, but if we differ altogether, then it means the arbiter in terms of our differences is the masses, is the vote, is the popular vote. Go and win the popular vote to take your own decisions. And take your own decisions without consulting anybody. We are in this predicament ourselves because we suffered a setback, but we've got the numbers in terms of the 6 million people who want us to advance transformation, and we're not going to back down from that. And then if it put us at loggerheads in the long term to a point where we've got to look in different directions for transformation, we'll do that. And because we are here for that, and that is why the people have voted the ANC still to continue. And that's why we are not an opposition party. We are the largest party and leading the government of national unity. As the leader of this government, we take responsible decisions. So that is why we are advancing BELA Bill. We say 3 months, let's talk. Because you said, despite the fact that this went to Parliament, you had an opportunity. We had the majority, we advanced. And then you are coming back to us and saying that, let's talk, these things can be resolved. We are ready to do that.
President Ramaphosa, as he opened the ceremony today, of course, paying tribute and condolences on the passing of Pravin Gordhan. I extend my condolences to you too, SG. As we reflect on his legacy as well, you know, yesterday you had that media briefing where you were saying no to this fake news, rightfully so, and allow the family to make these kinds of announcements themselves. Just your comments now that we know that Pravin Gordhan has passed.
We pass our condolences, heartfelt condolences, to the family of Comrade Pravin Gordhan, to his wife and his daughters, to the comrades who walked the test of time with Comrade PG, to friends. We say, draw solace from the knowledge that you are not alone. Comrade PG was our member, was our leader. Comrade PG was a great patriot. He was a hero of our people in many ways. And he played an indelible mark in the history of our struggle for liberation. And we salute him for the role that he has played, and the condolences to everybody. And thanks to everyone for respecting the family, to be the people who make this announcement. It is not done. And South Africa is a country of Ubuntu. Despite whatever, we don't lead ahead the family in terms of these announcements. By yesterday, when this news was circulating in the media, I had just come from seeing him at the hospital, and I had an opportunity to talk to him.
What did he say?
He didn't say anything because he was in pain and sedated. And so as I was talking to him, he could just move to show that he could hear me. And what he said to his family, when time has come, they must be ready to accept. And that was it. And so we respect the wishes of the family, and we give them privacy. And up until they announced, early hours of the morning, he then passed on. And only after that, we're able to make a public statement about the news that were announced by his family. So may his soul rest in peace, and the struggle continues.
And also respecting his family too. They were kind enough to let us in this morning. Iman Rapeti was at his daughter's home, at Priyesha Gordhan's home, and she was reflecting fondly of, you know, the man beyond a minister and a politician, but a father and a husband, and spoke of him quite deeply, but also talking about what a deeply private man he was, and that he had also started falling ill from 2016, 2017, and that's when there were those vicious attacks on him too. Just thinking back to that period as well, when he faced that kind of onslaught too, what are your reflections?
Well, PG was of a special type, but is reflective of revolutionaries. And I dare say he's a revolutionary because of his deeds, because he fought for change, fundamental change in this country. So all revolutionaries fight for that. And he was at the helm of that during the days of apartheid. He was an astute intellectual and a man of integrity and a very critical mind in terms of his thinking. He was very independent, armed with tools of analysis, and he was a patriot. in many ways. He loved his country, loved his people. He went to jail, underground, struggle for them to be free. And when time came in the new dispensation to serve, he took his responsibilities with honor, dignity, and diligence. SARS is one of them. Many people don't know that PG was part of comrades who pioneered in our constitution the architecture of local government in our country. So when he was made Minister of Local Government by Jacob Zuma, reshuffled over time, is because he had that background. And even there, he delivered with flying colors. And then when he was given responsibilities to serve in government in different portfolios, he gave it his best. And he served our people with diligence.
Just quickly before I let you go, and briefly, some have criticized him for his role as Minister of Public Enterprises, while he's been lauded for his other roles too. Your reflections about his role while he was at the helm of that ministry?
He did what was necessary to be done. That Ministry of Public Enterprises was run down when PG was assigned the task to undertake the mission, difficult one, of dealing with state capture manifestations. SAA is the biggest highlight. PG had to come in there and save SAA. That was the mandate. How do you save something that was run down like that? To a point where people began to question, why does the state have to run airlines? We had to have this airline for flying the flag and all of that, but the PG had to save this airline and saving jobs. That was what was fundamental. From when he started, this airline was on business rescue. Have you ever seen somebody who saved something that is on business rescue? Pravin Gordhan was given that job. He was given a job to save Transnet. I dealt with the challenges of Transnet with him also on the other side in terms of PRASA. Yeah, people vandalized, and at the same time, they also stole resources. If you know of the Zondo Commission at PRASA, you know 4 billion rand disappeared on those trains that were procured from Spain. Comrade Barbara will see to finish that job. PG spent a lot of time in China with Porsche dealing with that matter. It's not easy.
Yeah.
Logistics and freight affected in this particular instance, but I'm happy the work and time that has been invested in changing and making these entities viable will be seen in the near future. And Pravin Gordhan and the contribution that he has made in that regard will be seen going forward. So he played his part and did a lot. First to reverse and expose state capture, but to participate in ensuring that state entities serve to benefit economic growth of our country.
Fikile Mbalula, thank you so much for joining us and your reflections this morning.
Thank you very much.